Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influence's interest on YouTube. What's up, people? This is Influence, back with another review. This is Optics IF, which is Iron Factory EX-38, which is their Hound. Came out in 2019, so it's kind of like a throwback, but not really, because this is the reissue. Yes, I know Iron Factory. If you know Iron Factory, they don't usually reissue their products, which means that a lot of their products go up in value like fans toys. Iron Factory is one of the few that I think are good investments. I don't think much of these toys are investments, these figures. Some are, you can get your money back. Some you can get a lot more. But there are a few companies like Fans Toys and Iron Factory that do usually have a good return on your investment if that's what you're in it for. And I'm not talking just scalping. I'm talking just, market value. Once stuff goes away and goes out of stock and they don't make it no more, market value goes up. That's not scalping. That's just market value. So that's probably another discussion. As usual, I always bring up these topics, and it's just so many that we could probably get into. Anyway, we have Iron Factory here. This is Hound, of course. This is their aesthetic. I love this figure. I think this figure is a great figure. I'm starting off as it comes. First sort of box. Normal Iron Factory box, pretty small. Got some artwork, got some stuff on the back. Got all that good stuff. Get them out of here. Now, something that they haven't done a lot of, at least not in their early figures. I have a lot of their early figures. I didn't really go in on a lot of their later figures just because it's not the aesthetic that I'm collecting in Legends. But I think Hound is a chunky bot anyway, so I believe this could go with Legends. To me, it's a little stylized, but I just think Hound is a chunkier, or should be a chunkier figure. Now, this is what I was talking about. I know I got off track a little bit. Their earlier figures, they didn't do this, but these, they are coming with removable hands that you can pull off and just have on. Now, you have 3 different sets, but you have this hand right here that's like grabbing hand. Let me move him out the way because you can't really see it. It's like his grabbing hand, and this is the only hand you can't leave on during transformation. At least I don't think you can. It didn't seem like you could. This is the hand for his gun. You can leave this on during transformation, which is cool. And then you have his fist, which of course this comes on, I believe, so you can leave that on during transformation too. And as you see, Hound, he comes with his blaster and his shoulder missile. And I'm starting off in robot mode. He comes in robot mode, but I'm starting off in robot mode because I'm going to go back to robot mode. I'm going to go to alt mode, then back to robot mode, since it's not a super evolved transformation. And it's pretty fun too. So I'm just do both modes so you can see. Let me take this gun out. It's just a single cast. It's all right looking. Not spectacular. I think it's painted silver, or it could be plastic. Not sure. It looks like kind of like a flake, so it may be paint. But yeah, just a normal blaster. Then you have a shoulder cannon. So I like the way they did this. It has the swivel, and then it tabs on this piece back here, this swivel. That's like just, pulls double duty during transformation. Then you have his missile. Again, there's that mechanism that goes down and up. Yeah, so it's got the green and the silver missile. I think that's great. Directions, of course. One sheet, just like normal. Not the absolute greatest in the world, but it is what you get. So I got him in robot mode, and we can start comparing him. I'm not used to comparing figures this early, but I'm going to compare quite a few just so you can see a little bit. So we have Magic Square Stunticon. and they're kind of similar. You got New Age's Megatron, and that may even be okay. Then you have Iron Factory's Brawn, which is from, and actually just so I'm clear, this isn't Iron Factory's. This is the KO. I do have Iron Factory's, but it's combined. Then you have, this is the KO of the bots. And I think it's more, the KOs were almost, similar to the regular Iron Factory. But you can see it's on a similar platform, similar feet. I'm sure they use some similar parts with a little bit of molding, probably for most of their figures anyway. And then you have an MFT Tracks, Smec Fans Toys. So you can see where the sizes are kind of all over the place. I mean, the Stunticons were supposed to be all over the place. They were all different sizes. And I like that they kept that aesthetic. That's kind of what I like about some of the offerings, the third-party offerings of Stunticons. But these guys are kind of like all over the place. Tracks, I don't think is as big as Megatron or should be as big as Megatron. But MFT makes bigger bots. And here's, I think they work because it's Magic Square and then New Age. That's well, not really, because they were the Stunticons were even bigger. The Stunticons were almost the size of Megatron, so scratch that. They weren't really the size of Autobot cars, only as cars, contrary to what a lot of people believe. I guess it's the animation model, so scale is in the eye of the beholder, because the animation was all over the place. So anyway, here you go. I can't find my thing right now, my spinner. So I just show the back. It's pretty clean for a big bot like this. You got some kibble back here. He's just kibbly all together, but I just think he's a chunky bot, and he should be. But that makes for articulation not the greatest. Let's talk about articulation. So he can move the arms around all the way, but this does hit there. He does have quite a bit up. Again, this shoulder is quite kibbly, so it does hit all this stuff up here. You can see how close it is to his head. You try to get it up, and it can't get up any more than that. And he has a little shoulder like this, little shoulder action. Bicep swivel. Has elbow that gets more than 90 degrees. His tires are plastic, but they're like a plasticky, like kind of rubbery plastic, I should say. Head goes down. I believe it's on a ball joint. So, you get all these moves down. You get a little bit of side to side. Actually, a lot of side to side. Not too bad. And you get all the way around. Now, this piece can impede all this stuff. If it's up here like this, sometimes it stays up here, but you can move it all the way back to get it out the way. So that's good. He has a waist, or ab crunch, I should say. Goes down and back. Does have an ab rotation. Get his arms out the way. His hands, of course, are fixed in whichever one you want. And they're on pretty tight. I hope it doesn't get loose over time. Well, I'm not going to change them that much. But you can pull that off, and then say you want to put on the grabbing hand. You just put that on, and then you have him like handshake, how you doing? Or give it to me. Like I said, I don't think that can stay on, so I'll put this back on. But you can do to that, you can move. Oh, shoot. It's hard. You can move this all around. Doing transformation, you want it straight like this because this is part of it. His legs. Does the splits, the full splits. He doesn't really have any skirts, so he can do quite a bit. The full hurdles almost. Has not double jointed. He has a single jointed knee that gets you about 90 degrees, a little bit more maybe, not much though. Can on this swivel right here, he has that, and he has good toe up. none almost down, and he has a wide tilt, and you can even get the toe through the transformation. The toe moves. So after you get that tilt, you can even get the toe to do other stuff if you want something weird. I don't know. And no, this isn't really a heel spur, but you can use it if you need it. He doesn't have a problem standing because he has a pretty big foot. You can see either way. But if he was on like a weird surface and you needed it, you could do that. And it don't even look that bad from the side. It just looks like probably a heel spur. Again, tires. This right here goes up through the transformation. But if you need it, you might need it. I don't know. Let's get in transformation now. Isn't too difficult, but there are some tricky parts. So first, I want a little tab here. I'm gonna pull this back and try to get this out. It can be hard. At first, I didn't know that tab was there, so I was trying to pull this. I thought it was just this, but it's this whole mechanism here, and that makes it so you can push his head down, but it has to be straight, and you can pull this up. There's a tab there that goes into there, and you can just pull it up to get it out the way. You can start to move his head in, move his arms down. Now flip these up. These go up here. You want this straight. You see where it lines up. It's pretty intuitive once you get it started. I know Legends aren't that complicated, but it does have some complicated parts. So once you get this head in and you get this up, then you want to put this back down. Then you put this in here. And it'll peg there if you can get it. And you'll have it like this. So then you want to get these mirrors. You want this like this, but a little bit up like that. Pull it down, but a little bit up because it's going to go into these arms right here. But then you can move this, manipulate this up here. And there's a little split right there that you put that into. Put this into. And then you can put the arms in here and it kind of like solidifies how you need it to be. Now for the legs. I think the hardest part of the legs is getting this panel up. It's pretty hard. That wasn't too bad that time. It's like underneath this, so it doesn't really stay. It stays, but it's not like a tab. It's just locked underneath it, so it can get hard. And I'm pulling on the wrong side. Make sure you pull on the inner side. That would help. Then you want to, before you forget, you want to move these like this, so it's upside down. Just the toes. Yeah, upside down like that. Now you want to push this up. Pull these up like this. Put these feet up like this. Put these feet up like this. Then move this out. Flip this over like this. And then these seats, with this still up here, you want to pull these seats down like this. And it's a peg right there that pegs into the bottom of this. I'll show you on the other one once I get it pegged in here. There's also a peg in the arms that keep the arms. Is a peg right there that goes into the side here, and that keeps the arms like square. And this peg that I showed you before that goes in there, so that's keeping the arms like kind of square. So let's show you on this. So once you flip that little piece out, that's right there, you flip it out. Then you're flipping this around. and it's kind of hard to get past this. That's the part that's difficult. So you just want to try to, you can actually move the hand out like that, and maybe you should have put the hand, maybe the hand goes in last, but I just like, so I don't forget it. Then you get it almost where you want it. Then you can put peg the arm back in, but then you want to squeeze these together to get them close as possible and push these down. And it's pegged in. Then these parts, if they ain't came down already, you want to push this down, and then you want to push these in here to get them right. And there you go. You have his Jeep mode, which I think is great. It you know, it's a little stylized. It's a little quite different, but it's a wonderful thing. It's got the seats, got the steering wheel for a Legends figure. It's great. It's great. Then you can arm them up. You have the two knobs here, but you can put this over here, and then you can have this over here, and there you go. It rolls fine, actually well. He ran over his own hand. Don't have any vehicles to compare him to, but no Legend size. But yeah, I like it. It's got the star there, a little bit of paint. Got room for Autobot symbols. You got the yellow. The yellow is done nicely. You know, yellow is difficult. Yellow back there, the red tail lights. This stuff is Iron Factory. If you don't like the aesthetic, that's one thing, but they make a great figure. Especially, I wish they made. I do. I kind of wish they were in the MP game. I know they have other figures, but I think it's mostly just Legends, like IDW and other. I know they had the samurai stuff that they have coming out that I'm not really interested in. But yeah, this is it. And you can see, I mean, my hand's not gigantic, but you can see how small it is. It fits in the palm of my hand just about. So I think that's it for this mode. If you don't know by now, you can't tell by the excitement. I do recommend this a lot, and I'm glad they reissued it. And I do know Mech Fans Toys, I think they made a bigger version of this. Some of their stuff, and that's funny, that company, some of their stuff is KOs and people don't know it. Some of their stuff is oversized KOs. Some of their stuff is original molds. And they KO all the Legend scale companies. However you feel about KOs is however you feel. So just take that with a grain of salt if you're looking for this. So back to robot mode is kind of simple. I just break that connection. Try not to use the term break. Then I like to flip this over first, these seats. Then just get this spread apart. Then this is the hardest part again. And it seems even harder now because when it's in this mode, I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's clamped together because it's has the legs in between it or what, but okay. Made a liar out of me. That was easy. And a lot of the stuff just gets out the way. See, like this part you're supposed to push up, but it just gets out of the way anyway. So then you have it like that. Put his feet down. Put his feet down. You can close these so you don't forget. Flip his feet over. And then push these down and you got the legs done pretty much. Now for the upper half, you want to remember that this is pegged in there, so you want to take that off both sides. Just lightly because it's not going to go all the way up. Well, maybe it will, but you shouldn't force it all the way up. You want to get the arms out the way. Then they're pegged in the side there, remember, and they're pegged up front. So you just get that down like that, and then get this up. You can get this up again. Get the head out of here. In order to get the head out of here, you got to move this down. And you got to be careful that the head isn't sideways or whatever like I just did. So you move that down, get this head out of there, then get it far enough. You get all this stuff back and get the head far enough up so you can move that down and then peg the head there. Move the shoulders and almost there. Now this, don't forget to peg that there. It's like on a double hinge. So it goes, it kind of like rocks back and then forward, and then it pegs. And once it pegs, you're good. You're good to go. You ain't gotta worry about it coming out. Then we're back. We're back in robot mode. Then this, you have the hole there, the peg that goes there. It can go over here too, but it's just more cumbersome. Just because the hole is in the outer part, and over on the other side it's more inner. So over here, this is more over towards that way, so it's just harder. Then I usually put the gun in the hand, opposite hand, and there he is. You see how quick that was. And this is fun figure, fun transformation, quick transformation. You see I went back and forth. I mean, it's even quicker that way. So if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. If not, cool. We'll check back. You might enjoy a different one. I don't know. I will catch you later in another one, another video, another review, or another something. I don't know. All right.
Ain't over. Life ain't over. Life ain't over. Life ain't over. As long as you're alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.